Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor down here in Charleston. Gonna run this out. I'm gonna go ahead and break it in for the gentleman. Very nice boat. It's a 23 foot 2025 Seahawk with an offshore bracket. Got an 18 by 42 degree V. That sharp entry. These will cut right through the water. Anything above say a 22, 23 handles the same. 24 is a little bit different. So 24, 25, and then 26 is your next step. Then they need to start widening them out. So these are perfect 1/4 inch bottom, 1/4 inch back transom. You got dual wipers, you got the welded removable top frame, heavy hasp windows, you got your reverse semi strake to help keeps the water down. This right here, you got strakes on the bottom, you got 2x6s, two of them with slick bunks on the trailer, easy loaded, double dip galvanized spare tire, 2-speed winch, foot jack I like. You got the peek-a-poo hole here for the 2-inch ball. I checked your brake fluids up underneath there. They do need to add some. Trailer lights work. Window stop right there. Chine guides, Teflon chine guides. Gear bath oil hub, that's the way to go there. Brown good, white bad. 5 lugs, disc on 04. T25, this should do tune out in the ocean about 7. 99 won't quite do it, where the 25 will. I think he's going to go to a reactor 40 or 50, whatever they want to call them now, but they didn't have them in stock, so they're going to send them to the guy. See how thick that bottom is on there. Trim tabs, these things here, water levels right up underneath here. They finally did a good inspection cap with the hex head. So these here, instead of having them, well, what do you call plastic cover plates, this is a lot better seal. Nice wide bracket. You got a t25. I think there's 10x6s. You got the bigger prop. This is actually a little bit smaller than the 99. You got the holes down here, relieves the back pressure. You got the freshwater flush. Here's your trim up and down. So I will break this in for the gentleman. This, make sure that you pull that out, because if you don't, you're going to hit the button up front because it is remote and it ain't going to go anywhere. Oh shoot, what, damn it. So what I do is get a gas line or a rubber hose, cut it and split it, put it over here. It keeps this thing out, because there's nothing worse when you got a remote motor and you need that and you hit it and this damn thing goes in, and then you got to run back here. Sometimes you don't have that much time to mess around. Okay, tie bar, heavy duty stainless. You got the, I think C-Star, yep, C-Star hydraulic steering. You got the pole start too, so you got electric plus the pole. You got the 250, I believe, yep, 250, 15 by 15 right hand saltwater 2. I highly recommend the saltwater 2 series, and go to the 15 diameter on the V6 motors. They can handle it. Okay, that little hole back there, that there's for your fish box. There's a valve inside you gotta shut. If not, water is going to go in there. Hydraulic lines coming out. You got your trim right here. It has a ram saver. It's inside the boat. He's got it already wired for downriggers, I believe, or crab dabbit. Okay, now on these here, here's your P2 freshwater flush. Do not start the motor if you use this one only. In theory, if you're at home, they make a bullet connector that goes back here, a flusher that goes in like this, and then you use your other flusher. You should use 2 of them. Make sure you got good water flow, then start the motor up. Same thing, you shut the motor off, then turn the water off. Now, if you don't have one that bullet flushers that go right there, then I would tape that off and just use your single flusher, Y out, and hook up to here as well. But only have, when you have to have a flusher there if you use this to start the motor. Now, if you're going to start the motor and you don't have that, do not start the motor. Hook the hose up to it, turn the water on. But if you have the flushers there and one here, then you can start the motor. Really nice. This is a beautiful, I love the color on this thing. It's very nice. Net holders, cleats where they belong. 2 port drains off the step deck, shallow deck, that's what you want. Spare tire. Gear bath oil hubs look good. Then we'll jump in here. Rear entry door, they put this in here. That was smart. They did that a few years back. Metal deck instead of vinyl. They did that for a reason, because like I say, if you didn't have this thing would rub on here and scrape it anyway. Fish box. And that's an option. You can get what they call a ski pylon that goes up, but sometimes you can cut them down the bottom, slide them down, re-drill them. You can put a fillet table on it. You can extend it and use it for a ski pylon if you like. The drains in the back that goes in your bilge, and your bilge pump kicks on, your wash down. Open this up, the valve's right there. So you want to make sure that valve is shut when you're, unless you want water, then you can open that up. Now here's a little trick too. Say you had water in there, oh shoot, I forgot, open up the valve, turn the boat to the left, get it going in a circle. That way you're going to get almost all the water out. When you're doing that, have someone shut that valve. Then you can get all the water out of it. Other than that, you got to drive for quite a while. Oh, there you go. Here's your breakers, shut-off switch. Yellow's emergency. Say you run one dry, then you put in there and take the juice from both batteries. There's your primer bulb. 10 micron. Change that once a year and stick with Yamaha. They're a lot better element. They got 5 of them in there versus 2. Fuel tank. And I'm going to be going in here. So when I'm loading these boats, putting them in the water, I look at my watch right here, and I see the wind direction, which is south 10. So that means I want to put in on this side so that wind will carry the boat into the dock, because then you can always back out. But when you're coming back in, you want your bumpers on that side, so then it'll just push in. But if you had a north wind that was coming that way, you'd want to have it here and then dock in on this side when you're loading and unloading. Nice seats. God, I really like how they did those. Those are nice. And then you got your trays, glove box, suspension seats, flip up arms. Got here's your height adjustment, your slider, your tension, and this here's your swivel, kicker motor, main motor. Set that up for you, and I believe it has an 80 gallon tank. I could be wrong. I think anything above a 21, you go to a 22 and then they start going 80s. Bilge pumps, horn, wiper, anchor lights, tray lights, dome light, deck light. Now I will break this in for the guys, so I'll be out here for about 3 hours. Okay, what you want to do on the break-ins on these, and this is according to Yamaha, not the books and everything else, but they run these motors 2 hours at the factory before they box them up. We bring them down, we fire them up, just let them idle. Then what I do is I fire them up, check them at the dock, pull away from the dock, just idle a little bit until I get out in the channel. Now the worst thing you can do on, especially say the kicker motor and the main, so they're about equal. The worst thing you can do is just a troll speed. You don't want to break them in that way. I know people think you're being nice to them, but you don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. So what you want to do is vary it. Like I typically go 10, 10, 10. So by the time I get done dinking around, I kind of get her up, you know, just almost just below a wake, and then I come out there and then I get my bumpers in, pull the rope in. By that time I got 15 minutes, and 3 minutes the motors are warmed up. So don't, even when these are broke in, don't get right on them. Give it about 3-5 minutes before you hit the throttle. So I get out there, a lot of times if I have electronics, I go into the current, I shut the motors off, then I set all the electronics up, then I fire up, and then if I'm going to set them up, I'll run the kicker motor and break that one in while I'm setting up the autopilots and say my GPS sonars and all that. But by the end of that, then I got the kicker broke in, then I do the main motor. And what you do is you go like a quarter throttle, then you go half, 3/4, full, because you got to check the RPM, make sure it's propped right, and they know that. So then what you do is you go back down 3/4, half, quarter. Then what you can do is go up to a quarter, between a quarter and half throttle, say about 3,900, and runner. You just don't want to keep a constant speed for the first couple hours. So you want to vary it. So quarter, half, 3/4, full, brief period, full, maybe 5 minutes. Come back down, do it again, then to kind of cruise it maybe at just on a plane, maybe 10-15 minutes, and bump it up a little bit, bump it up a little bit, keep it under, like, say, half throttle, then go back down and vary the speed between like an idle, which you don't want to idle for a long time, but in gear, then you take off, quarter throttle, half throttle, and just vary them RPMs. You don't want to just tack it out for the first couple hours. All right, beautiful boat, trim tabs, set your gauge up for you. We're going to get her in the water before she pours again. It looks like south. Now it was southwest, which was going to clear, but now it's coming out of the south, so I'll have enough water or enough time before the rain hits again. All right, boat doctor out.